Hi everybody, Mike Pfeiffer. I was going to do a little review on the new Kato single crossover, the 2030 and the 2031, left hand and right hand. They're based on a number 4, the number 4 turnout. They're designed like the number 4 turnouts. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, but I have run a locomotive around through it a couple of times here, and it seems to run fine. I haven't attached any cars to it. We might try that and see how that works. Also, I was going to just give you a really short tour of the Kato sound box, the new Kato sound box. And there's a little more to it than what one would think in a DC unit. But I'll try and go over a few of the features, and I'm definitely not totally up on it, but we'll at least take a look at it and listen to it, and we'll just see what you guys think. And I'll tell you more about the little track that I've got put together here when we get down there. I have it on the floor here, so let's take a look and see. Okay guys, we're out here in the garage, as you saw earlier, but I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown of the components that I have hooked together here kind of haphazardly. To actually run the new sound box here, it has to be, I don't know, I think you could probably use the DC converter with a standard MRC pack. I don't really know that for sure. Your output would have to go out and then be plugged into the back of the sound box because there's a jump plug back there. I'll show you in a minute. But the Kato pack plugs right onto the side of it, and then you can see over here on the other side that I have the turnout control for the single crossover attached to that side. And I'm just using a little F3, and I have a bunch of haphazard track connected together here that I just made a layout real briefly. I have the 2 loops connected with a oh, I don't remember the number of this part. It's the splitter. It's a 24-827. I have the 2 tracks powered the same way through that, coming off the back of the Kato power pack. The power pack is plugged onto the side of the sound box, and then on the other side the turnout controllers plug onto that. You know, it's kind of the same Kato plug method that's used for all of their DC stuff. So let me move the camera here a little bit, and I'll try and give you a rundown as to how all these components work together. Okay guys, I'm kind of sorry about all the background noise of the cars going up and down the street, but this is the best I could do. Anyway, as you can see, when you get the sound box, there's a jump cord, and it plugs into the what would be the track power output part of your Kato power pack, and it's this black cord, and basically goes around and plugs into the back of the sound box. Then in the back of the sound box, there's an output that comes out, and that goes to my 3-way splitter and feeds my 2 tracks out here. And basically, that would be going out and feeding your layout. The sound card itself, you hit the eject button to power it down, and you pull it out. You can see here that this one is an EMD first generation diesel. I don't know what all the Japanese stuff is on it, but it has a horn, a bell, a brake, a dynamic brake, coupler, and RPM override. I'm not exactly sure, and I haven't figured out exactly what that does yet. But however, this thing comes in the box, and you basically just plug it in here with the power down here. Okay. Now, once you've got that in, you can hit the eject button, and it doesn't actually eject anything. It just turns the power on to the card. This microphone button adjusts microphone volume if you want to announce something, or say you want to have an MP3 player or something play something. It plugs in the front right here, and you can adjust the volume, I believe, with this, or the incoming volume with this, I believe. I'm not sure about that. This knob here controls the regular volume of the sound box, and I can turn it up here for you real quick. That's about 2/3 of the way, and you can hear the engine idling. Turn it back down temporarily. This start button, I am not really sure of its function. Well, I am kind of sure of its function. It tells the locomotive when to start in relation to the rotation of this knob. Okay, because there's a momentum built into this box that doesn't exist in the Kato power pack, which is take a little bit of getting used to. Also, this sync button here or knob allows you to turn that up and down, so it allows you to synchronize with the start when the locomotive starts moving and when it actually reaches full throttle, which is pretty handy. And like I said, this just is the turnout control for the turnout across the way. So let me just, that's about as much information as I can provide you right now. We'll play some of the sounds and we'll try and run this locomotive. This track that I'm using is a bunch of used track that I got from someone, and it's not been cleaned, and we may have some stalling problems, but that's not an issue with this unit itself. It's a unit with the track I'm using. So let's take a look. Okay, what we're going to do here is I've already got my start set. I've already run the locomotive a couple of times, so I know where to set my start button here, and I've already got my sync button kind of set. Of course, you can always adjust that. They're going to have different cards for different types of locomotives that you'll be able to plug in there eventually. We're not going to do anything with the mic button. Oh, it also does have a line out too, so that you can run other external speakers around the layout if you choose to do so. So the first thing we need to do is, on this orange tape doesn't do anything. It's just on there when I take it out of the box, but of course you remove it. But anyways, I'm going to turn the volume up, and I'm going to turn it up kind of loud so you can hear it. I hope you can hear it. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn the throttle on the power pack up. It's already in forward, and I hope the thing winds up taking off. But you'll hear the engine speed go up, and then the locomotive should start to move. We can honk the horn. I can stop it. Of course, the locomotive has gone out, but it's coasting basically to a stop, and you can hear the engine sound coasting down. Once again, the horn, the bell. Now I'm going to reverse. I'm going to turn the throttle back up. You can hear the diesel winding up. Okay, my darn locomotive stalled. Hang on just a second, we're going to back it up. And I'm going to try and get it to stop within the picture here. Turn it down just a little bit. Brake squeal. Or no, dynamic brake, sorry. Brake squeal. Coupling. Now we're going to stop it. And you can hear the engine wind down. There's not really much more to demonstrate with this thing other than I'm not sure about this number 6 button. You guys will just have to experiment with that, and I'm sure somebody can chime in with that. But basically, like I say, volume control, this mic knob doesn't do anything unless you had a microphone or an external sound system plugged into it. The start button, let's see here. Maybe I can show you. If I turn this start knob way down, you can see that the sound kind of winds up early. And the locomotive hasn't even started to move yet. Of course, it may be stuck. And it was. I really should be doing this on better track. Well, not better track, cleaner track. Let me get the locomotive back in here and try and demonstrate that again. If I turn the start knob way down, you will see that when I turn the throttle up, Actually, I guess when you turn the knob down, it responds later. In fact, it hasn't even started to move. So apparently, yeah, I got to turn the throttle way up. Actually, it's not even allowing it to move. I guess it will. I guess it'll start later. But anyways, hold on. I know this is kind of hokey, but nevertheless, I'm not used to this thing at all. Let's see. The further I turn this knob up, if I turn the throttle up, the locomotive starts moving before. Sorry about that. The locomotive starts moving before the actual sound comes on. So it's just a matter of adjusting this to get the locomotive start to move when the motor gets up to full RPM. That's basically this knob's function. There, it does have one more function, and this is also a synchronization button that allows you to at speed allows you to synchronize the sound with the locomotive. Between the combination of these two buttons allows you to synchronize this when the locomotive starts moving in relation to the prime mover and what the prime mover sounds like when the locomotive's in full motion, is I guess what I'm trying to say. Now, we have one other thing that baffled me until I figured out what it was. We got this green light here that tells you something, but it doesn't tell you what it tells you. What I found out was if I short the track, it's a short. It tells you it's got a short. While the sound stays on, you cannot move the locomotive. Now, to rectify this, and of course our throttle's all the way down already, but if you had, I keep knocking the camera, I'm sorry guys. If you had the throttle up, you can hear that the throttle is up, but nothing's happening. You can't see the locomotive, but it's not moving because it's assuming there's a short on the line. So what you need to do if you get a short out there is you've got to turn the throttle all the way down. You got to let the sound wind down. Then if you turn this start button all the way down, you'll see that it clears the short. And then you can go back and put your knob back where it was, and you can resume all over again. And I guess, guys, what I would say about this thing is I like it a lot. It would take a lot of getting used to. There's a lot of things you can do with it. And at this point, I certainly don't know what they all are. But it seems to be a pretty good unit, and I'm a big fan of off-board sound as opposed to on-board sound, you guys that know me. So now we're just going to move on to trying out that single crossover. So we're going to turn the volume on this guy down. Now you can hear my drummer neighbor, I think. But hopefully we can get over that, and I'll tell you about the single crossover. Okay, guys, here's what the single crossover, this is a left hand, looks like. And let me try and run the locomotive just straight through it here. And you can see, of course, that's fine. We're going to reverse it. That's fine. It seems to work pretty well. Now I'm going to throw it. And as you can see, it throws both legs at the same time, as does the double crossover. Now we're going to reverse through. Back through. I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to go forward a little faster. And back. I know this is a little non-prototypical, but you can see that we don't have any derailment issue there. I'm going to throw the turnout back. Back and through the other leg, back and forth through the other leg, no problem. So now I'm going to try and hook a couple cars to it and see what we get. Okay, once again I'm going to apologize for the drumming in the background for my neighbor across the street. There's a story behind that, but I won't go into that right now. I have just a random group of cars. I think there's an Atlas, an Intermountain. I think that might be a Intermountain flat. And I'm just going to run them back and forth through there, through the straight section. And you can see, of course, we don't have any problems, no issues going through the straight section. The car in the lead there is a fairly heavy car because of the load. But you can see very little wobble or wiggle, which is a good thing. Now we're going to back up a ways. I've got some awful tight track here that I'm trying to back this into, and that flat car doesn't like it. But we're going to throw the turnout, and I'm going to try and run through forward here with this combo of cars. Of course, this is a short locomotive. Forward, no issues at all. Backward, no issues at all, even with that kind of long 60-foot flat car. Just based on what I'm seeing here, I kind of like it. I wish they would have done it in a number 6 longer, but it is a nice looking turnout. It's just as well engineered as any of the other turnouts. We're going to throw it straight. We're going to back through the other leg. Now let's try backing up. Well, to me everything looks pretty good. So anyway, you get to see how it works, how it looks. Let me try and zoom in on it a little bit, see if I can get a little better picture of the turnout itself. I'm not too good at this, but and I can actually maybe zoom in on the so you can see the portion of the turnout where the where it's basically the setup of the number 4. Back out here. And guys, I hope in some manner that this little impromptu video here and demonstration of these components helps you in some manner, but that's about all I got for you today. Well guys, I wish I could have offered you up a little more information on the sound box, but I just don't have the time, and I don't have one that actually belongs to me. I just broke that one out from the shop and didn't really have time to mess with it a lot. I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments on that. Hope you enjoyed the look at the single crossover, and I hope this video helps you guys make a decision on one or the other of the two. But anyway, thanks for looking at the combined video, and I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you the next time.